29 декабря 1989 года прошел матч в рамках суперсерии между командами НХЛ и клубами СССР в рамках турне советских команд по Северной Америке. В том матче встречались ЦСКА и Ванкувер Кеннекс. За ЦСКА тогда выступали Артур Ирбе, Вячеслав Быков, Андрей Хомутов, Валерий Каменский, Владимир Малахов, Владимир Константинов, Сергей Федоров и другие. Этот матч запомнился прежде всего тем, что тогда за Ванкувер играли бывшие армейцы Игорь Ларионов и Владимир Крутов. В этом видео вы сможете увидеть интервью Ларионова в перерыве данного матча.
Well, for the Vancouver Canucks to start the game, Krutov, Larionov, and Doug Smith will be the forward line. The defensemen Jim Benning and Robert Nordmark in goal, Steve Weeks. The Soviets win the draw, however, from the face-off. Konstantinov getting it to the line, but Nordmark knocked it out. Krutov then set up Smith right in front of the net, but it's called on the offside, and the face-off will be outside the blue line. Well, all eyes on this fella who has had his problems. He first of all said he was out of shape. His coach agreed, his former coach. Yeah. So does the coach here.
Well, I think what happened too,
They rebuilding. Larionov's over the line. Larionov clearing it in front. Here's a chance. The shot is just wide of the net. Over 2 months. Shastin out at center ice now. Leading the rush. Go to the line. Shastin takes a shot. Weeks had to be alert on that one and covered up. Out near the line, Rich Sutter takes a shot. It deflects high in the air, and Irba, under pressure, hangs onto it and takes the pressure off. Bekov has it for the Soviets. Rink wide, Kamensky. To the line he comes, backing up on the play is Garth Butcher. He tries to circle him, got a shot away, it's loose in front of the net, and scores on the rebound. Homutov had all the time in the world as Butcher had been ridden behind the net. And Homutov gives the Soviets a 1-0 lead.
Well, Kamensky's going to beat Garth Butcher wide right here with those big long legs and creates the play. Vancouver gets running around a little bit. Now, Weeksy's guessing here. Steve Weeks is guessing a little bit on that first move, that long stride, you know.
There's a good long pass up through the center for Kristiakov. They get another chance on the short side. Weeks is there for that one. Adams to Tandy on this side. Out through center ice now, that lead pass for Trevor Linden, put it in front of the net, and there is Irbe doing something Soviet goaltenders don't normally do, and that's
exactly.
Turning with it is Jim Benning now near his own line. Gets it to Linden, there's a good move. Over the line he comes, Linden tried to get set, and it was just poked away. Now it's loose at the side of the net. The Canucks, here's Linden, he took a shot, it hit the glass as it deflected high in the air. Skriko chased up against the boards by Davidov. Davidov trying to circle and get set, clears it in front of the net. There's a shot over top of the net by Soviet forward Yevgeny Shastin. And Krutov tried to slip it back to Sandlak. He lost balance. Fedorov then with a shot on the short side. Weeks stood in there and made the stop. Giving it to Kamensky, to Bekov. His shot just wide of the net. Homotov on the far boards, but it hopped over his stick. And Krutov, Smith, back to Krutov. Hits the line. Smith's offside. The puck comes loose. There's one man back. Here they come again. Homotov. Kamensky getting set in front of the net, and he shot it wide. It may have deflected. Kamensky shooting it wide. Checked closely by Nordmark up against the boards. Skriko is in there, getting a little help, but he can't get it out over the line as Malakhim keeps it in. Here's a shot, big save, rebound, and Weeks is there for the rebound as well. Out comes Sutter. Here's Bozek to center ice. Bozek stopped up along the boards. Pulling the player down. That is Lenardin, who suffered some kind of, there's a quick shot and a goal scored by Davidov. Out at the center ice zone is Lenardin. Davidov got that puck and sent a screenshot past Weeks. But Lenardin, on that play, went down. He appeared to twist his ankle against the boards when he was checked, and he just simply could not get up, and it caused the Canucks to be shorthanded. There's Lenardin up at the top of your screen, down on the ice.
I think he hurt his knee coming in. Now, this is when you have Steve Weeks is not a #1 goaltender.
Number 6 for the Soviets is Byakin, the veteran. And here comes Vancouver once again with Steve Bozek unable to hit the line. Now the Soviets again, the shot. Drifted in there, taken by Fyodorov. There's Tandy. There are only 15 seconds remaining in the period. He deflects it in there. Adams, and no goal, I think, is the ruling by the referee. We'll have to look at the replay on that. A high shot that was deflected in by Greg Adams.
This is awfully close, and we'll be able to see on the replay We got a chance here. It's awfully close from this angle. Tanty's just going to advance them. It's late in the period. Boy, oh boy, that's awful close. Greg Adams is a big fella. We'll see again. Tanty, puck to the net. Oh.
Well,
Boy, it's interesting to see where the blade of the stick was. Maybe he'll another look at another point, but Tanty just advancing the puck to the net late in the period. Close call.
here's a great move, and they come again. There's the shot to hit the side of the net. Tanty, as the net is off its moorings, took the backhand shot with 1 second left in the period. So the Canucks showing the most spark they've shown.
Let's ask Igor first off what his reaction was to the National Hockey League after seeing it and playing against NHL teams for so many years to finally being in the NHL. How was it different for him?
Какая у тебя реакция была, когда ты играл напротив НХЛ и сейчас играешь с ним?
Ну, для нас эти матчи были очень важными. И я думаю, что было соревнование между двумя школами, советской и североамериканской.
The games were very important to them, and it was like a tournament between two hockey schools, the Soviets and the North Americans.
This was before he came to the National Hockey League, but what was his reaction like to play in the league itself? Was it the same as he had expected, or was it different?
А как сейчас ты играешь в НХЛ? Ты это ожидал? Как ты сейчас играешь эту игру?
Ну, мне трудно судить, как я играю. Я думаю, что лучший ответ могут дать болельщики и тренеры команды.
It's hard to judge himself how he plays. He says an answer to that can come from the coaches and from the public.
Well, let me ask him about the coaches. He played for Viktor Tikhonov at home. He plays for Bob McCammon here. How would he compare the coaching styles and the type of hockey both here and with Army?
Понимаешь, сравни
I think he understands the question.
Ну, очень большая разница между двумя тренерами. Я думаю, что Виктор Тихонов тренер старой школы, старой волны. И сравнивать его с Бобом, думаю, нет смысла, потому что здесь я более расслаблен, чувствую себя более раскрепощенно, уверенно и получаю удовольствие от игры.
Victor Tikhonov is a coach of old school, and here it's much more relaxed, and he's much more relaxed and getting more enjoyment out of playing hockey.
I saw Igor had a few words with Viktor Tikhonov during the warm-up. What did you have to say to Victor? Did you welcome him to Canada?
Нет, я просто... Меня просили спросить, сколько будет игроков сегодня играть, 21 или 22. Я уточнил, что 21 игрок раздевается.
He just had to ask him if there's going to be 22 or 21 hockey players on the ice. That's it.
Igor, the fans in Vancouver have been a little disappointed in how you and Vladimir have played. Has there been a problem for you in adjusting to hockey here? Are you going to get better in the second half of the season?
Ну, вы знаете, болельщики ожидали, конечно, большего от нашей игры. И, в общем-то, мы ждали большего от самих себя. Но первый сезон для нас, после того, что мы видели в Советском Союзе, в советском хоккее, то есть... Переводите.
He says, of course, the public, the fans, and themselves, they waited for better results than they have up to this date.
Well, we got to go right now. I know you want to get back to join the team, but this game, you might be interested in knowing, is going back, is being televised back to the Soviet Union. It's just about New Year's. You've got family and friends still back there. Igor, do you have a message for your family and friends at home?
Ну, в общем-то, да, я хотел, наверное, поздравить всех болельщиков в Советском Союзе, родителей, всех друзей, всех тех людей, которые нам желают удачи здесь с Новым годом, и пожелать счастья и успеха.
Now, Igor, what was that? Tell us in English what you
I know many friends and many friends and my parents watch tonight game in the Soviet Union, and I'm wishes for all people in Soviet Union Happy New Year Day and best wishes in New Year.
Thanks very much for being with us.
And it's out at center ice. Digging out is Bradley. Trying to get some skating room. Takes the shot. The good rebound. There's the rebound, and it trips over top of the net. Skriko had it. Hits the line. Larionov looking for a man, but he threw it right into the traffic. And Davidov is out there. Davidov to the line, trying to find some room. Shoots it, scores. Davidov had a man to distract goaltender Steve Weeks in district, and he just took the shot himself.
He does a good job here. He fakes about 3 times. Garth Butcher doesn't know whether to go, get up, get him, no, bang, in the net. He pump faked 2 or 3 times. They aren't intimidated by the physical play, and as a matter of fact, they're winning a lot of those little battles.
Here's Fyodorov. Look at that move. And there's a shot over top of the net. For the Canucks, they played pretty well here tonight, so maybe they'll be able to use this game as a kind of a stepping stone, but not here, as breaking in all alone is Fyodorov, the backhand shot, and he scores. Fyodorov split the defense and found himself all alone.
The play is going to break down again in the neutral zone for Vancouver, and the puck, it comes out. There are an awful lot of Vancouver Canucks in a small area of the ice. In the meantime, Fyodorov is going to go in uncontested from the neutral zone. A couple of Michael Jordan jukes and jives.
Plays pretty well. You're a defenseman, Dave. And Skriko shot, and again Irbe out to cut the angle down. And
They played Philadelphia Flyer, Boston Bruin hockey. They don't turn away when a Canuck makes a pass. And this is, I'm very impressed with the quality of this club's effort here tonight.
Here's Homlatov getting set, and he shot it right through the legs of Weeks, but he got enough of it that it drifted wide of the post. Here they come again. There's a shot, hit the post, and back out again. Passes Maslenikov, turns, lost his helmet. They do that a lot.
There seems to be an awful lot of Red Army helmets on the ice.
Maslenikov again. He throws it into the slot. There was nobody there. Konstantinov. Here's the shot. Rebound. They score on the rebound. A high shot by Kristich. Off the rebound.
The Canucks are going to get running around a little bit to the right side of their defensive zone. Konstantinov's going to drill it. Now watch the good hands here. I mean, he's up.
They go after it again. There it goes down. Kostichkin circling out. The backhand shot. Weeks reached out, got the pad on it. And he gets some skating room as the Soviets are making changes. And Skriko comes through center ice. Skriko drops it off. Here's Reinhart. Banned on the pass, but Bradley's got it. Bradley is checked on the play. And out comes Kamensky. Kamensky getting that jump on the defense. Shoots and scores! And again, we saw that tremendous burst of speed by Kamensky as he just beat the defense and got in alone, and it was allowed to go to his forehand and score.
He's going to push the puck ahead of here and move the puck and away from Butcher's hack.
To Skriko. Skriko hits the line along with Bradley. Skriko marked up against the boards, takes a hit in there by Kristich. Now it's back to Lidster. Lidster to the far side. Taken by Benning. He shoots it in there, and it is knocked down and held by Irbe. Bozek goes in deep. Bozek in the corner. Round behind the net, jammed at it, and Irbe was right there. Played very well here tonight for the Canucks. Tanti. Tanti ahead. Larionov now one-on-one with the defense. He shoots it, and he shot it wide on the backhand. Shiryayev made him force the play. Number 3. Out at center ice now. Here's a 2-on-1. Maslenikov takes the shot, and he drifted it wide on the far side. Larionov. Great players going to come from. They've lost 5 of their greatest to the National Hockey League. Well, we are seeing where they're coming from. Fyodorov. Now we got a battle right in front of the Soviet bench. Something happened, and somebody threw a punch from the Soviet bench. And it has led to Fyodorov. Fyodorov is having a little battle going on with Sutter. Fyodorov and Sutter is wrestled to the ice by Fyodorov.
Fyodorov started the whole thing by hitting Sutter with an elbow, and then Butcher came in. And it got going from there.
Nordmark's got it. He's got it off the boards to Larionov. Larionov ahead. Kurutov now with a little room. He comes in over the line working with Nordmark. Gets set in front. Throws it in there, and it's covered up by Irbe in front of the Soviet bench. And Malahin and Smith get their sticks up on each other as the thing winds down to 0.
Well, the Soviets beat the Vancouver Canucks at a North American-style hockey game.
Встреча завершилась победой ЦСКА со счетом 6-0. В следующей встрече команде Виктора Тихонова предстояла встреча с Миннесотой North Stars. Если вам понравилось это видео, то ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал и увидимся в следующих видео.